All right,
What's
y'all. Welcome
going
to the
on,
pod, man.
everybody?
All right, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. We're going to let Bryan take it this week. Go ahead, Bryan.
Nah,
Kick
go
us
ahead.
off.
Go ahead, my boy. You got it.
All right. What's going on,
Yeah.
everybody? Off the top is in the building. And welcome to the WGC podcast. We don't got no guests this week, but we are 6 guys from the wrestling game community coming here to talk about wrestling and video games as well. We're going to let Bryan kick it off this week after we do the introductions, but let's go ahead and jump forward to Clint. Clint, let the people know what's going on.
Hey guys, I'm Stryzer Tube Wrestling. Cover Dragon Ball Z, WWE 2K24 content rolling out, just hitting, rolling every day. I've been getting stuff out, so check out the channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Stryzer STW. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant X. Still baffled to see why they changed it. Yeah.
Still Twitter.
Text write-offs.
All right, shout out to Clint in the building. Next, we got the Loaded Beast.
So check me out. YouTube is loaded as a beast. I do like stupid YouTube shorts. I cover AEW. I may do some WWE 2K24 gameplay when that game comes out. I don't know if I'm going to cover it before it comes out. We'll see. That's about it. Yeah. And follow me on all socials.
All right, that's what's up. Shout out to the Loaded Beast. Next up, we got the dubious one. Mr.Dubbs is in the building.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Mr.Dubbs. You can find me at Mr._Dubbs on YouTube. Check out my latest series that I just dropped on my channel called This Week in Wrestling, where I cover all the biggest news from the week that is wrestling. And you can find me also on X/Twitter, Mr.Dubbs86 over there. And then once again, YouTube is Mr._Dubbs.
All right, and next up, we got Kero Valentine in the building.
That is right. I am no longer the GOAT. My GOAT card has been revoked, unfortunately, when I was buried alive by Kenny Bomb, but that video will come up on the channel in a later date. You'll see all about it. My channel on YouTube, like I said, is Kero Valentine now, and I used to cover a whole bunch of things. I still will in the future, but right now I'm focused on that WWE 2K24 grind each and every day. You're gonna see more and more videos about it, and when the game comes out, I'm all over it, so you better give me a subscription or I'm coming for you.
All right, make sure y'all subscribe to Kero Valentine. We got a bomb coming out on his channel. I will be featured on it, so make sure y'all check that out, as he will be featured on mine. But let's go ahead and move on to Bryan in the building.
What's up, man? How y'all doing, bro? If y'all been following the channel, or if you haven't, make sure you do, man. I've been on a road lately, bro. Not to, you know what I'm saying, not to applaud myself, but I've been doing my thing, man, and I'm glad I'm back. WWE 2K content coming out, AEW Fight Forever content, as bad as that game is, still covering it over there. But hopefully WWE 2K24 is on the way, so even more content is gonna keep rolling out. Make sure y'all tune in, man.
You've been killing
it,
man. Yeah.
And Kenny Bomb is in the building as well. Y'all can find me at Kenny Bomb on YouTube, as stated before. I will have a video coming out with Kero Valentine on his channel, but he will have one coming out with me on mine as well. It just got finished being edited and it's about to go up any second now, actually. So make sure y'all check that out. And also, me and Kero were talking yesterday, and we're going to be doing a 2K24 launch party. That's a few months out, but make sure y'all stay tuned for that, because it's going to get pretty
WWE guy ain't get talked to about this, bro.
You left early.
You went to bed.
Yeah.
You went to bed.
Y'all can count me in, bro. I'm in.
My power went out.
Count me
Oh,
in.
you were in there with
to
us?
bed and my power went out.
No, I was I wasn't in there. But
you left early last night.
No, I did leave early, but y'all can count me in for that. I'll be in there too.
Yeah,
No,
and
we
I
gotta
said
talk
I'd be
to the
there.
rest of the crew
Just
about it,
because
but
my
yeah, we're
power
gonna
went
get
out
that
doesn't mean I'm
popping.
not going to be there. Best believe I'm going to be there.
Yeah, for sure. But shout out to Matt Batten in the chat. I see you saying you're a WWE guy. I'm definitely sorry to hear that. But we're going to let Bryan take it over from right here, because we got a big news story before we get into the wrestling games, because we're definitely going to talk AEW Fight Forever, WWE 2K24, maybe the wrestling code, and maybe Ultra Pro Wrestling, but it's something crazy going on right now that we got to touch on. So Bryan, take it away.
All right, man. So listen, on the contrary, if you're a WWE guy, you a proud fan right now. You know what I'm saying? Your CEO, the owner, ain't talking that crap over there. But on the contrary, AEW looking real crazy right now, my boy. I ain't gonna lie. TK was feeling some type of way, and honestly speaking, bro, this probably sound crazy, but I really think that TK just didn't land Mercedes Moné, and this is why he crashing out, my brother. So, all right. So when you know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, bro, if the Rumble come around, remember I said that. But listen, Tony Khan basically was upset because everybody was upset at Hook asking for a title shot of Samoa Joe, which honestly, I was one of the ones that was like, yo, bro, this promo is actually butt. You know what I'm saying? ASS. But we are here now today, bro. Tony Khan took a little, you know what I'm saying? But Jinder Mahal got a title shot for next week, which is a little hard to explain as well as a WWE fan, but I really don't mind it. He's a former world champion, so I ain't mad at it. But Tony Khan basically put out a tweet. Let me see if we could get this tweet real quick, my boy. Hold on.
While he's pulling up that tweet,
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
AEW
All
fans
right.
can't talk right now, bro. Hold on. He said, a double standard. 28-1 career record for Hook on winning streak calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Jinder has literally lost every single match he's in for the past year and immediately gets title shot. Where is the rage? And then he proceeds to promote his show AEW Dynamite tomorrow on TBS. One last thing as well before I move on. I don't want to keep talking about this too much. He said USA Network, all the networks, Fox, USA, they've been trolling Tony Khan, and USA Network tweeted yesterday what was the cage match rating as a joke.
Oh no.
And Tony Khan actually quoted and said a moral victory is for USA is one win more than their world title challenger Jinder Mahal has in the past 364 days, because it's been literally a full year since he won a match. You really put AEW in our place getting Jinder Mahal in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often. So, my boy, he definitely feels some type of way about that. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like Tony Khan, he felt some type of way about it because of how the fans reacted to the AEW booking, to the WWE booking. And that's just where we at now. Even Eric Bischoff got involved in this. And I actually see wrestlers from their respective companies supporting, supporting Hook and Jinder because Jinder quoted Tony Khan's tweet and said, "Who the F is Hook? Watch Monday Night Raw on Mondays on USA." So I don't know, bro. It's looking crazy right now.
So it's definitely looking very crazy. Tony Khan, I think he is definitely in a bad place with that tweet. Definitely in a bad place.
Can't even defend it.
So,
oh my goodness.
For one, I don't like when people hate on Jinder Mahal. I thought the title run was fine. He didn't perform in the ring, but what he was saying, like those bad jokes, those were written for him. So that performance was bad for him. So I don't like people giving Jinder crap. But the Hook thing, I think Hook has, despite his win-loss record, he has no business challenging for the AEW championship. You're going to put his win-loss record as the reason he's challenging for the title. When you look at guys who are hot like Swerve Strickland, Hook deserves the title shot over him. It's really no excuse for booking that match. And I think Tony Khan knows that. That's why he didn't like the blowback or the backlash. But for him to come out like this on X, I think it's a bad look for AEW. Y'all know I take up for him all the time, but this is just something I cannot defend.
I will not defend what Tony Khan's doing on Twitter, but as far as saying that Hook doesn't deserve a world title shot is crazy to me, because clearly before you have Samoa Joe defend against Swerve, because Swerve should not be losing when he challenges for that title, you have to make Joe's championship mean something by having some defenses. And if the next pay-per-view is going to be when Swerve takes it, who
you can't make any excuse for Mr.Dubbs. Hook should be in
NXT. Can.
Or some type of
I'm sorry, that's kind of wild.
They would have weekly challengers for the US title or anything else. Random people.
Who's he gonna face next week? The
guys
Bunny
from outside of the promotion. So what's the problem?
I just want to say something real quick. I just want to say that TK bringing up record is really funny, because at the end of the day, we all know wrestling is predetermined. So the record ultimately really doesn't mean nothing, at least to me.
What he's saying is, I've at least booked this character strong, whereas you've booked this character like garbage. So everybody's mad that a character I've booked strong since he's come into the company. I got so much backlash for this. But they're not getting any backlash for having this character who's literally lost every match on television.
I honestly think a lot of the blowback is coming from that promo.
I understand his mentality behind that.
Because that promo it wasn't good. The promo was not good. He was in the streets of New York with a hoodie on. I'm like, bro, listen, I get it. I know he's from New York, but that's like, for me, it was more the promo. Because I don't care if he goes on ahead and calls him out. I don't care about that. I feel like just the promo did not deliver whatsoever. So I feel like a lot of the blowback came from that as well. I think it's more. I don't even think it's more Hook that's totally fair. Samoa Joe. I think it was the promo that really blew back on him a lot too.
But do you guys
No,
agree?
I
Like
think it's
Samoa
this.
Joe should be getting title defenses in though before
Yes,
he
he
loses
should be
to
getting
Swerve.
title defenses.
He should.
But Hook should
And
not
who are
be
you
a
going to
title
have lose
defense.
to him?
I
You
don't
can't-
care about his win-loss record because it doesn't matter. You can go beat 20
Right.
scrubs. Now you're
agree.
20-0.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
Abaddon.
it's the quality
Abaddon.
of the win. Who have you beaten?
Yeah.
Isn't that the saying in wrestling? Who did you
Who'd
beat?
you ever beat,
I'm
kid?
sorry.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, kiddo? Let's go ahead and get
And
some
Kervin,
formation.
yes, I can cut a better promo. Yes, I can.
Before you get to Kero, though, I have to say I'm shocked, Kenny, that you're saying who has he beat? As in, wasn't the last guy he beat and he kicked him out of the company your boy Jack Perry? Who's he
Jack
beat?
Perry shouldn't
He
be
took
getting
Jack
a world
Perry
title
right
shot
out of the
either.
company.
It's getting
Jack Perry's
spicy
never
over
been
there.
But
seen
he's
since.
not world
Just saying.
championship level right now.
In the world of wrestling,
level
in the
wins
world of
first.
wrestling, you couldn't have been happier to see the devil be revealed as Jack Perry. He's been missing
But
from the
that's not
company
him
since
getting a title shot.
Hook took him out so bad, throwing him through real glass that he hasn't been seen since. Come on,
And
man.
I think
Him being
you're the
revealed as
only
the
one
devil,
who
it
remembers
wouldn't
that
be him
in the
getting a
entire
title
world.
shot. That would be him getting placed in a position to get a title shot. You're revealed as the devil. Maybe you beat Adam Cole. Maybe you go out there, beat Hangman, beat Swerve. That's when you're getting the big name wins, and it's going to put you on the road to being a world champion.
You're
Hook
just
went
saying
out
who
there
did
and
he
beat
beat?
Scrubs. Hook beat who?
So Jack Perry's a scrub.
Danhausen?
You're
Now
saying
he's getting
Jack
a title
Perry's a
shot?
scrub.
Come on, it's
Jack
not
Perry's
good.
a scrub?
Hold on,
Yeah,
bro.
he's
I don't
right.
like. Hold on. I don't like this thing where people are saying. Dave said Jinder lost a
Right.
year full of matches. How many matches was Jinder really booked in? I know that he was the manager for that team in NXT, but I don't think he was really wrestling. So I get it. He wasn't booked up to the world title match or as a contender, but I don't know where people are getting this thing that he lost hella matches. Like, I really didn't see him booked. I didn't see him in NXT.
Well, now see, I can't really make an excuse for that either because Jinder is not put in a position to be a title contender either.
100%.
But is the WWE World Championship a serious title?
Plus,
It's
I would
another
raise the
picture.
argument that he at least beat Randy Orton in the past. He did something. He ran with the main title. At least there's something there.
He's a full, and
like-
there's actually story to this as well. To piggyback off what Kero saying.
And he had a segment with The Rock just the other week. So even from that, he's a little bit hot right now.
Yeah.
So why not use him and put him in the public eye? And Mr. Dubbs, we talked about Hook, man. Like, you remember how I said, oh, in this pay-per-view, he should have a great match that catapults him to like mid-carder, then he can go to main eventer. He has not had that, like, any match, really, honestly. His
That's all
debut
I'm
match
saying.
was the biggest thing he has ever done right now. And
Oh, I agree with
other
you.
than
It's
that, he's just like,
it's just because Kenny loves Jack
stuck
Perry
right
so
here.
much. I had to throw that in there. That's the only reason.
oh,
I was just poking the
Yes, I
bear.
love Julia
I was
Hart.
just
poking the
but I
bear
don't
because
think
he
she's
said, who
ready
did he
for
beat?
the
Like, well,
women's
Jack Perry,
championship yet.
never been
I think
seen.
she's in the right space. Get that TBS championship, get your reps in, and when you're ready, go get the women's championship. But you're not ready right now, so you can't just jump over this hurdle and get to the finish line. You got to go all the way through. Finish the story.
what do the other guys think?
SHIT.
Did you finish your thoughts, kiddo?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Loaded Beast,
I
do you
can't
have any
finish
thoughts
yet.
on Hook?
Jinder Mahal
challenging
getting a
for the
title
world
match is
championship?
ridiculous, bro.
Hey, hold on real quick, y'all. We got 31 people in here. Shout out to all of y'all in here.
Oh,
Y'all make sure to
hell
hit that
yeah.
like button.
Building, y'all know what?
Yes,
We're gonna
sir,
keep
man.
it loose this week. Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely.
Drop a like on the video if y'all can. We would really appreciate it. You know what? Tonight is a special night. If we can get 100 likes on this video, we're going to do a giveaway at the end of the stream. Let's get to that.
Yo,
okay,
let's
y'all
do
heard
it.
WWE 2K24, AEW Fight Forever Season 2, 3. We're going to do a giveaway.
No, nobody want to do that. Just WWE 2K24.
WWE 2K24. All right, we're going to do that.
Don't give them boys no
What
more
you
revenue,
saying,
bro.
Loaded?
They don't need it.
So Jinder getting a title match, man, is ridiculous, man. I'm not a big fan of Jinder. He never should have been champion in the first place. He should have won the U.S. title first. But I get they were going to India that year, so they wanted to push him, yada, whatever. It's stupid. And Hook doesn't deserve a title match either. Sorry.
You know what? I
What
agree.
big names has he competed with?
I mean, we
It's
can
a very
all
eloquent
agree.
way
I
to
think we
say,
can
who did you ever
collectively
beat?
agree that none of these
Rob Van
guys
Dam.
deserve a title shot. I think we can collectively agree on that.
And
Now-
they don't have the power rankings anymore, the power rank anymore. So
Hey,
it doesn't matter.
exactly.
You know what? I wouldn't mind Jinder getting a title shot, though, just because he was a champion before. He just got to put the work in and he got to get back to that level.
Kero said he beat
But-
Orton for it.
Yeah. So I think Jinder's a championship worthy guy, but just to put him back in the title picture like that,
Yeah.
I see why Tony Khan would attack, but that doesn't mean he should.
Hold on, would Roman be defending his title on SmackDown against Jinder?
No. That's why I'm saying the World Championship is not a serious title. They just don't take it serious.
It's a consolation
Exactly.
prize.
No, I
But
don't,
What do you
I,
think?
I don't think it, I don't
Randy
think it's the
Orton
fact that
defended
it's
against Jinder.
Hear me out, bro. Who do y'all think is gonna win the Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins match?
Jinder
The
to win.
fans. The fans.
I want Jinder to win.
fans.
but-
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest, bro. I think Jinder's
the
going. I
winners.
think Jinder's gonna win, and Damian Priest is gonna cash in on him.
Oh, you think so?
Oh my
I don't
God.
know what I would like.
I
that
think.
would
Listen,
kinda be
listen.
like,
I think what
woo.
happens is, listen. Hear me out, bro. This
Absolutely
is
destroy
this
Seth
is
Rollins.
this is long term booking, all right, bro, for WrestleMania. CM Punk comes out, costs the titles to Seth Rollins. Jinder Mahal wins, adds another title reign to his record. Damian Priest comes out, beats Jinder. Punk is in the Rumble. Seth Rollins comes in and eliminates him, and it sets up Punk versus Rollins at WrestleMania right there, my boy.
You're very
Now
optimistic,
Jinder's a
Brian.
contender again.
You
Let's
don't want a
go.
title
Let's
in
get
that
to
match?
it.
I don't think it needs a
Well,
title, to be honest, but a title would make it ultimately, higher. But I don't really think it needs it.
I think Punk needs that main event slot on one of the buy one get one free nights that he talked about, and if he doesn't get that, I don't think he's going to be a happy camper. And I think the title needs. I think for it to be the main event of night one, you have to have the title on it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I could also see them pulling off Seth versus Punk, no title, mainly because, like I said, those two got so much heat going on right now that I don't think it needs a title. But if the title was there, it's cool too.
They specifically put the title on The Rock against Cena when they didn't need it, just so it
Yeah,
had the
I do
title
remember
on
All
it.
right, but we
Yeah.
haven't heard about Clint before we jump forward to the WrestleMania card. We haven't heard from Clint on this whole Tony Khan situation, Hook getting a title shot, Jinder getting a title shot, the World Championship being worth something. What do you think about all of that, Clint?
Well, the way they've been booking the world heavyweight title, it just makes it seem like it's even lesser than the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title. I mean, look at Gunther. Look at his reign. When does he defend it? He only defends it usually at a pay-per-view, right? So if you're a world champion, in my opinion, you should only defend the title at a pay-per-view.
I'd say
It
the
should never
contrary.
be on. It should never be on Raw or SmackDown unless it's a big event like Day One or some milestone like the 1000th episode or something. And I don't hate Jinder. I just feel like where he's at right now, just throwing him into the title picture just seems kind of random. And
Yeah.
it feels like it lessens the championship, not because of him, just the way it's happening. Because what did he win to get there? Like right now, I know he was the champion before, but he just got his ass kicked by The Rock, and now he gets a title match. I don't understand the logic behind that for
It's The
wrestling
Rock.
booking.
I mean, come on, it's The Rock.
But still, I mean, oh, sorry, you got beat up by The Rock. Here's a title match to make you feel better.
And listen, they didn't squash him against The Rock. He actually
yeah,
got
he
some
got
hits
some
in
shine.
there.
I
I think that was them kind of trying to get his little build in before they went this way with Seth Rollins.
I don't know, bro. Should have been
I
booked
feel
better.
like Jinder would be a great opponent for Cody should he win the title next year. Like one of his first major opponents. Like build him up like the Iron Sheik, make him his super bad guy. There you go. But right
You know
now,
what, Clint?
eh,
I like what you're saying. I like it.
Mhm.
I think that's great. Cody Rhodes is like the All-American. He's not going to finish the story and win the title. But if he did, I think Jinder would have been a good first boss for him to get by.
exactly.
So that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, but Tony Khan, I think what really happened is the AEW Dynamite rating last week, I hate to say it, but it was dangerously close to NXT's rating. And this was coming off of a big pay-per-view. So that was not good. So he's trying to do whatever he can to try to boost that rating tomorrow. But saying stuff like that on Twitter and then pushing AEW's Dynamite behind it is kind of nasty, dirty work. And I don't think that's going to push anybody to watch AEW. So I think it was a bad move.
Agreed.
I agree. If anything, it gave Jinder Mahal more publicity than anything else. The pop that Jinder Mahal is going to get on Monday Night Raw, I will definitely be watching.
Oh yeah, he's over now.
He's over. He just did WWE's job for them.
Yep.
Y'all think he got permission to do it, or you think he just went rogue?
What you mean? Who?
Like
No,
that
he went
tweet he
rogue.
put out.
Oh,
Didn't
I'm
he say,
pretty.
like,
I'm,
we're
pre- I'm
epic
pretty
or
sure he
something?
probably asked one of the higher ups. I mean, WWE they run their stuff very tight circled, so I wouldn't be surprised if he
Yeah,
asked and
I
he was
don't
like,
think so.
"Hey, bro, I'm finna throw this tweet out
Yeah. You know what? Make Jinder hot. When is the title shot?
Monday,
When do they have the title?
Next week.
Huh?
Monday,
Next week. Next Monday.
Monday.
Next Raw.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Put the belt on Jinder. I'm going with it. Give that man his flowers and his props. Because at this point, he's a WWE guy. If he gets
Too soon.
fired, he can't go to AEW after that
Too
tweet.
soon. Too soon.
But we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Anybody else got anything to touch on for Tony Khan before we get into some wrestling game talk?
Let's
Cody's
talk about
finishing the
some wrestling
story.
games.
Let's go.
Cody will not finish the story. We will
Cody's
be talking more
finishing the story.
WWE after we finish the wrestling game. So we'll get to it, Brian. Just relax. All right, let's talk about some AEW Fight Forever, as we talk about every week. Why? Because the storm is coming, and that storm will land tomorrow. Not only that, the storm's coming in two ways. So Tony Storm drops tomorrow, and that ends season 2, which is going to lead us on the road of season 3. Now, we don't know when season 3 starts, but if they try to roll that out when WWE 2K24 is being rolled out, it's definitely going to be a storm, because I don't know if it's going to be good for them. What do you think about it, Clint? Where are we going with AEW Fight Forever right now?
Well, unless they have like an atom bomb of content to drop during 2K24, I feel like they should just play in the shallow end until the whole storm of 2K24 is over with, and then come back and be like, hey, we're back with more content. Season 3, we got this wrestler, creation parts, better online, fixed pin system, yeah, come back to our game, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't think they're going to fix the pin system, though. Zaidi said it would be like a complete overhaul of the game or something. Like, it'd be a big change, too much. So I think the pin system, whatever. Give us a little bar there so we can see if we're close to kicking out or not. Make the wrestlers more durable. I would love that. What do you think, Brian? Where are we going with season 3? And are you excited for Tony Storm to be released tomorrow?
No, I am not excited. She is outdated and she costs $12. I am not excited. Now, season 3, we're probably going to see some match types. I really believe that we probably see some match types, because according to my boy Zidis, he said
Zaidi. I got clarification on that, y'all. It is Zaidi.
Zaidi.
So Zaidi said that basically season 1 and 2 was in production before the game dropped, which I think is cap, but it is what it is. Season 3 is coming out, and he said that a lot of the stuff from the sheet, the Google Doc that he posted a couple months back, we're probably going to start seeing that. So we'll probably see some match types. I hope we see guys like Swerve, Adam Copeland. I hope we see women like Jamie Hayter in the game, and Samoa Joe as well is another one. So I hope we see
Samoa
people
Joe's
like
a
that.
man.
No, I know what I know, but you know what I mean, my boy. But
Just messing with you.
but yeah, that I really can just be a little bit optimistic about it. But like I said, I don't know, because Kenny, you remember he said that Tony Storm was submitted at the end of November. So how could she be in production when the game was before the game came out? That don't make no sense neither. Somebody lying. So we're gonna see.
Well, I don't know. He said things that the things that came in season 1 or 2 were already planned before the game came out. So I don't know if it was necessarily done before then. I think they already planned, like, all right, after we get season 1 out, we're going to work on Tony Storm and everything. And by the time they finished it is when they announced it in November. And then they did that patch update where they added these things to the game, and Lynch found it and told everybody everything they added. So I think that's why the PC players were able to play it early as well.
Yes.
Because they put everything in the game in November and just had to get it approved or whatever that process is. And that's why she's coming out now in January. But Dave did make a good point. He said, so season 1 and 2 was stuff that should have been in the game, but wasn't. And they just charged us for it. So I think that's exactly what it was. If this is stuff they already planned post-launch, then they needed to just push the game back, get this stuff in there, and then start working on the DLC or whatever the people want after the game was released. I think that's a big problem with DLC these days, is they already know what they're going to do before the game is out. Where back in the day, before we had DLC, it was, we want this stuff in the game, let's get this stuff in the game before we release it. So I'm not a huge fan of DLC. Before I started making content, I didn't buy any DLC for any game. So, I mean, this is actually all new for me. I think in season 3, they got to get new match types, especially if they're planning to go up against WWE 2K24. Otherwise, it's going to be bad. This game is going to get washed away. Nobody's ever going to think about it again. Also, get Game Pass rolling. Loaded, our expert AEW Fight Forever. I don't know what to call it. What do you call it?
Season 3 is gonna be a banger, bro. Just wait.
We're
Gonna get 2 or 3 new match types. If they just add wrestlers to the game, this game is. We're gonna have to cancel Christmas.
Woo!
On that, but they're gonna release this season probably in March to kind of program with WWE 2K24. They have to. Do not wait till June, because people are gonna forget about it. Just add it this year, February, March. It's time. Come on. And the Tony Storm DLC, I don't give a shit. I bought the season pass. I regret it.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that's
I regret paying for it. I don't care. If season 3 does not have new matches, I will not be paying for season 3. If I don't hear anything about new matches, nah, I'm not paying for it.
You know what? I'm
Fair
with
enough.
you this time. I had high hopes for season 2, so I did buy it. I was hoping some more things were in there, but it is what it is. Now we know moving forward, what you hear is what you get. So if they don't announce new match types, I'm not buying it either.
I also think mini games, Stadium Stampede, and Beat the Elite was all Kenny's idea, Kenny Omega. So, because he said he was involved creatively in the early stages of the game. And then Zaidi says, well, season 1 and 2 were planned before the release of the game. So, all these ideas, that shitty ass game mode that came out, all these ideas could have been all Kenny Omega. I don't know. Let's see how season 3 turns out. If it's the same old shit, then I don't know. It's time to just hang it up, give it up, make a new game, let WB publish it. I guess let Ukes develop it or Spike. I don't know.
Yep. I agree with you. A lot of good points hit there. Everybody's been blaming Kenny Omega. I mean, he jumped out and kind of denied it and told everybody he was only in there early.
Who else is there to blame?
You said who else?
Who else is there to I don't think Ukes would intentionally make a bad game.
Yeah. Because they made the SmackDown versus Raw game, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Were the Young
Yeah.
Bucks
exactly what they're
involved at
doing.
all?
But-
Or?
They wanted a contract. Ukes wanted a contract that was going to be spread over multiple years, and AEW made sure they own the license to the engine and said, no, they're not doing that. They're going to continue support for this.
Mhm.
So I do think Ukes intentionally tanked this game once they found that out.
I don't
really
think
do.
so. That would be so bad for their name.
Yeah, it
They
makes
don't
them look
care.
bad.
They built the engine. They I don't think they care. I think they want a guaranteed source of income coming in that, you've got us contracted for the next few years. We'll keep putting updates to this. If you don't want to do that and you want to pay us a la carte, then I don't think the game's unfinished. They released an unfinished product.
Yep.
The Create a Wrestler looks like they started working on it about a week before release. Like it's remember way back in development, like 6-8 months, a year before the game came out, they were saying how, we put in these mini games and stuff, but community creations. Well, we didn't think it was a priority at first, but now it is. But now it's too late in development. That to me tells me they didn't even start a Create a Wrestler until that point. They didn't even think about a Create a Wrestler until that point.
Yeah.
And that's it's a joke. And to me, I think the biggest disappointment is that Stadium Stampede could have been amazing. It's a 30-player online, but it's not the game. It's a different game. You're not playing the wrestling game anymore. You literally have to pick your finisher that you want it to be animated when you finish someone. It doesn't have the grappling engine. The whole beautiful thing about this game is the engine. Why isn't Stadium Stampede just more of the wrestling game, but there's these random crates where you can grab weapons, but you play the game exactly the same way you would in the regular game, and then you have all these new areas to explore. You can have a genuine match and wrestle, and then be able to tweak the rules and be able to play it offline if you want.
Right.
Like,
make it like an oversized backstage area.
That's
It's a giant Royal Rumble where you have a whole arena to play in, and you win by TKO. That's super awesome. Why did they decide to do this and make it like a completely its own entity? It's a different game. Like those areas are cool, and they could be added as backstage areas too, and they're not doing that. So for me, I'm not buying season 3. I don't care how many match types. The only reason I'd buy it is if they put in so many match types that all of you buy it, and I have to buy it for content. They literally put out an unfinished game, and it's really depressing. And season 3,
Shout out to Parsec,
Are you Loaded? Are you going to pay for season 3 when you find out all the new match types you're getting are the ones they pulled out of Beat the Elite?
Oh no,
or Road to Elite or whatever. Those are your new match types. You get multi-man ladder matches. Isn't that new? You get a gauntlet match. Isn't that new? You get handicap matches. Isn't that new? You get tornado tags. Those are things we all asked for, but those are things that are all literally in the game. But now they get to charge you for them twice.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm afraid of. They may charge you for those match types.
That's what I'm saying. I think 100% they're going to do that.
They can't charge for the match types that are in the game. Those have to be added with the patch.
Of course they can. They'll take all the game modes we already have in Road to Elite And then they'll also add a cage match, and then you can't say anything. It's like, but they put in the cage match. Yeah, but you can't access the
cage
other.
match. These just
But
come
you
with
can,
it.
yeah, but you can't access those other
Oh.
match types that were in Road to Elite without paying for this. Yeah, but you got the cage match. That'll be the excuse. They throw in one actual genuine new match type, pull the other ones out, and it's like, look, we gave you 7 new match types. No, you didn't. You gave us 1, and you charged us for the ones that are already in the game. I think that's what's going to happen, 100%.
What do you think, kiddo?
Man, yeah. I mean, I'll just continue on what Dubbs is saying. They've done it before, like constantly, alongside their very terrible communication, which is non-existent. That's why it's bad. I can see it. Yeah, like the game is already around $100 if you wanted to buy everything, like all the DLC. Just bad taste. Shows clearly that they really don't care. And Ukes, I was just thinking about like all the older games. Like we start with SmackDown, and I'll make a bet or a statement that even the first SmackDown game is kind of unfinished, and they go do another PS1 game and another PS1 game, and they build upon it, and that's when like, oh, this is a complete game. Like once you're in the third, fourth game, and then we get to, let's say, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth or like WrestleMania 19. Kind of different engine. Again, the game is super bare bones, barely anything in it. By the time you get to Here Comes the Pain, it is amazing. You go to SmackDown, here comes like, what is it? SmackDown versus Raw, same deal. You go to WWE 2K15, same deal. It's literally, or like change, like go to Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan games, same deal. Wrestle Kingdom 1, barely finished, nothing in it. Wrestle Kingdom 2, more meat on the bones. It's actually cooler. This is the way that Ukes works, and so if Ukes said it clearly and laid it out to AEW and Tony Khan that, hey, we want this, and they butted heads, and then they also put Kenny Omega on there, that's literally a nuclear bomb, and it explains everything about the game situation right now. Like it really does. It shines a light upon it. That's why I just cannot be hopeful. How do I say this? Deep inside, I want this game to succeed. Go roll out in February for sure, because yeah, people are gonna forget about your game. Give us something good. I'm not expecting it. That's what I want to say. I'm not expecting something good, but give us something good. Give us something extra substantial. An update to the Road to Elite mode, for example. Like, oh, brand new Road to Elite 2.0. You know what? That's what I would love from Season 3. But from everything they've said and done so far, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it is a mother effing duck. And so,
Quack, quack.
Quack quack is my final word.
You know what? I completely agree with you, man. And it's just sad. You know, I hate to hear all of the negativity about AEW Fight Forever, because when I actually play the game is fun. The engine is great. I've been playing WWE 2K23 over the last few days, and the gameplay in AEW Fight Forever, in my personal opinion, is better than the gameplay in WWE 2K23. They're just missing all of the modes and all of the extras in it. But I do enjoy actually playing matches in AEW better. And that's just me. That's just my opinion. But I'm hoping they actually fix those issues that we see with WWE 2K23 in WWE 2K24, which is going to be our next topic. WWE 2K24 is expected to be not released, announced at the end of the month. I believe we can expect to see it probably that Monday before the Royal Rumble. Isn't that when they showed it last year, Brian?
Yep, January 22nd this year.
January 22nd this year. So hopefully we're able to see it at that time. What do you want to see first shown from WWE 2K24, Brian? Like, what do you hope to see in the teaser?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't really hope to see anything in the teaser, because I feel like it's going to be very, like, just the cover star doing a finisher. Like, if it's Cody, he's probably just going to be doing a crossroads on somebody, and that's what they're going to show. It's going to be nothing crazy. I think more, I need to see the deep dives that they do. Like, if you guys have followed up with the deep dives that they do every year with leading up to the game, they talk about a mode every single week. So for me, I'm more interested in seeing what they do and say about universe mode and what they're going to do with it. If it's going to be overhauled at all. I know that, you know, you got to take their words with a grain of salt, because they are quick to say overhaul. And when you play the game, you're like, bruh, I've been playing this the past 8 years. So so that's just the way I feel about it. But yeah, hopefully we see something concrete, something that'll get us hyped. I know I'm gonna let Clint talk, but I know we want to see creation suite stuff, universe mode stuff, things like that. So hopefully we get that.
Yeah, I know the teaser is not going to show us much. I believe last year it just showed us John Cena pretty
Doing
much
an
being the
attitude
showcase
adjustment.
star, right?
Yeah, they
Huh?
were doing an attitude adjustment, and he was playing a game with a remote on a couch.
Right. And what was this? What was the tagline last year? Like stronger or something?
Even stronger.
Even stronger. Okay, so before it hit different, last year was even stronger. I'm interested to see what they try to sell us this time. They didn't do like any war games hints or anything there.
Mm-mm. They announced, they actually announced War Games the week after, so they announced it on Rumble Day. So we might actually get the match type that we're getting that Saturday.
Within that week, we should know all of the big features that should be coming. That's what I'm interested in seeing. Like, what are they going to sell us on this time? I'm personally hoping it's something with like a single player mode, like My Rise. Maybe they kind of scrap that and give us something else. But I'm hoping they kind of revamped one of those modes, and that's what they're selling us. I know y'all like a lot of different stuff, but for me personally, that's just the thing I look forward to most. What do you think about it, Kero the GOAT? Valentine. Kero Valentine.
Kero Valentine. Thank you for switching up the name, by the way, Bryan. Oh, he's leaving. He's protesting. But, man, yeah, one expectation, the only expectation I really have is because we've seen, like you said, Kenny, the cover star, the showcase star to be more specific last year. That's what I want to see this year too. And I expect it to be The Undertaker. And so the tagline might be, our futures are 6 feet deep, brother, or something like that. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, other
awesome.
than that, I feel like it's going to be a teaser. Yeah. So 10-second thing. I just want to look at all the t-shirts in the crowds and confirm who's in the game, who's not, and stuff like that. I guess that's my expectation. I do want to see the graphics as well. If there's anything substantial, probably not, because we're still, current gen 2, and just another topic I think we can get into later. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited that finally a new game is coming out. We're going to have Roman Reigns updated, Dominic Mysterio updated, a lot of these guys that needs updates, the shows. We just need this update.
Yeah, definitely need another update. What do you think about it? Who do we got next on the screen?
Dubbs?
We have Mr. Dubbs. I'm sorry, I had Discord open.
No, that's fine. I was like, it's wherever you want to go. I actually am surprisingly excited for a WWE game. I found the best way to enjoy the 2K series is to play one, skip a year, play another one. Because you're actually getting more than just one new match type. You're getting a few new things where you're like, oh, this is way better than what I remember. I didn't buy 2K23. I've never played it. I had 2K22, and before that, 2K19, right? So I always have these little leaps. For me, I used to get them every year until they would have save file issues. When I had my save files corrupted in 2K17, I took off till 2K19. So I find that's the best way to enjoy them, because you actually get more of an overhaul that way, taking that 2 years off. And I'm actually excited now. You guys made me excited out of everything to actually see what Supercard's all about. Because if a Towers mode, to me, sounds like a fun...
My Faction.
My Faction.
Sorry, My Faction. But that's, My Faction. Because I always literally thought it was a card game, like they put the mobile game just in that you could play it somehow online. I had no idea you played the real game. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm not looking forward to spending any money on it and building a team. I just want to see what it's all about, give it a shot. What I'm not happy about is the 2K22 servers are offline before 2K24 is released. I think they could have at least waited till 2K24 releases before you take those offline. Because for me, if I did want to get ready for this game, I didn't buy 2K23. I can't go and hop online or check out new community creations anymore. That option is off the table for me in 2K22 in the lead up to 2K24. And I think that's a little ridiculous. But I am very much looking forward to the game because I want to see what they can do with Universe mode. Superstar mode, some people don't like it because they think it's lame. They haven't changed anything. You just play as one player. I actually really like that because I like having my own creative wrestler go through a faction or an organization that I've made with all the stars and everything I want. I put them in as different, feuds and everything, and then I'll play just the single player. What I'm hoping for is Universe mode just gets a lot more cutscenes, a lot more breakdowns. Give us what we had on Raw with Shinsuke. The whole night they were building Shinsuke and Cody Rhodes, and they had these cool little cutaways with like anime characters and graphics with Shinsuke being this big bad anime character. You know how much I would love that and how much that would fit into one of these video games? How cool would that be that you get in a feud with Shinsuke and then you start seeing anime characters like he's spitting mist in your face? Like, sign me up. Like, stuff like that would be so cool in these games. But like you said, I always loved the single player campaign, whether it be called My Rise, Road to WrestleMania, you know, whatever it's been over the years. I really look forward to that every year and hope.
Me too.
Hope that it's a lot more than what at least what we had in 2K22. Because it was very lackluster. Like, after you got through the first few cutscenes, you're just talking to vendor, and then it's like, do you want to move to SmackDown? Do you want to move back to NXT?
Yeah.
Do you want to move back to? And I was like, this sucks. So I really hope that that's been overhauled a bit, because I look forward to streaming My Rise and being part of the, in the day one, doing a lot of stuff with My Rise and putting a lot of content with that on my channel. So definitely looking forward to that. And I just hope the engine's been improved upon, because they slowly make little improvements every year. I hope it's a noticeable improvement.
That's another thing I'm hoping too, that the engine they kind of tighten up the bolts there. Because I don't know, for me, it feels sluggish. A lot of people say they don't see it, but for me, I just think the gameplay feels sluggish. What do you think, Kero?
Oh yeah, like if you play the older games just for a second, like if anybody's saying the new games are not slow or sluggish, just go play even 2K15, which at the time when it came out, it was like, what the hell is this? This is so slow, because we were coming out of 2K14. It is so much, I don't know. It feels worse now. So I played Here Comes the Pain, for example, the other day, and it's leaps and bounds. Even like the reversal animations, for example, you just push the person, you keep on fighting instead of waiting for this 10-hour reverse animation to finish, and so many other things. So yeah, 100%.
What about SmackDown versus Raw 2007? How do you feel about that one compared?
Oh man, I gotta say, to be honest, I prefer 2K23, because I have all the complaints in the world for 2K23, but 2007 was bad. Like, overall, the game was just not satisfying.
2007 yesterday, right?
Well, I think he has a problem.
What do you think about this 2K24 reveal, and are you excited for it?
Yeah, hopefully we get that special guest referee. Hopefully that makes a comeback. Hopefully you can have the AI. You can turn on the option to have the AI cash in on the match, the Money in the Bank. Please. I don't know why it's just only in universe mode. What else is there? That crawling. Remember that crawling pin animation that they had back in the past 2K games? I wish they didn't bring that back. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
and they need to pick up the gameplay too. The gameplay, I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah, it just feels like a fighting game and not a wrestling game.
Right. Yeah, that's a big problem with it.
Yeah.
Why did they remove
there
that?
blocking? I'm like, well.
Yep.
AEW Fight Forever gameplay is way better. It's the only good thing about it.
I absolutely agree.
The only good thing about AEW Fight Forever. So,
but why did they remove the desperation stuff? Because I remember when you used to, Shawn Michaels had his sweet chin music, and then he'd kind of fall into a pin or whatever, or you'd have to crawl to the ropes and pull yourself up. Why did they remove that? I like that.
So they could add it back later. Duh.
They added it this year, and it's not. It's broken, by the way. Yeah, it's broken this year.
Right, but shout out to 32 people in the chat right now. Remember, if we hit 100 likes tonight, we're giving away a copy of WWE 2K24. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't dropped a like on the video yet, let's get to that. But let's go ahead and move on to Clint. Clint, what do you expect to see in this reveal? And what are you most excited about seeing overall in WWE 2K24?
Well, I think we'll get the new title, the name of the game, even stronger, or it hits different.
Get your bell wrong.
If Cody's on the cover, it's probably going to be cliche, like finish the story or something like that.
You know what? I would love that, because that means they're focusing on the story mode. Let's do it.
Yeah, finish the story. That's probably what they might go with if he's on the cover. What I would like to see most, and I covered this in a video, is my creations to carry over to the next game. But, that'll never happen, but it'd be super nice even if they have to remove certain parts because they're not in the game anymore, or if they have to reset your uploaded images that you put on your character, that's fine. It's just, I don't have to start from scratch every year. It's like I said in my video, I spend the first month or weeks just making characters, and then I get burned out and I don't play it for a week, and then I go back and actually play the game. So it'll be a little different this year because I'm trying to cover it on the channel. But one other thing I would really like to see for something simple like what you guys are saying with universe mode is throughout the show, throughout the night, instead of you just going from match to match to match, and there may or may not be a cutscene at the beginning or end, depending on the feud, throughout the night, have cool little segments like behind the scenes stuff or in the back, like you're walking around. like in between matches, because they did this. What game was that? Was it Shut Your Mouth or Know Your Role, where you had to like
Shut Your
run
Mouth.
in the back and you had to
Yeah,
hurry to
Shut Your
go
Mouth.
somewhere before your time ran out, so you could set up, let's say, the tag team storyline, the Intercontinental storyline, or the World Heavyweight Title storyline, whatever you were going for. You had a certain time limit before it would go to the next segment. So something cool like that could give you a time limit. You can go in the back, you could go start a fight, and if you beat up somebody in the back, they'll come out and interfere in your match. That's something a little more dynamic for Universe mode, because it's Universe mode. It's supposed to be universe, right? Not just there's too many
The ring,
menus.
yeah.
There's too many menus. Like in My Rise, I made a video on that. Keep an eye out on the channel for that tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, there's so many little things they could do to just really make the game better, and they just don't do it.
Right. I absolutely agree. But one thing you just said there was you would want to see the like community creations or your creative wrestlers move forward from one game to the other. That kind of scares me, just because like would they update the graphics on those wrestlers, or would they just say everything's the same, no more polish for 2K24? It is what it is. The graphics are going to be the same year to year. Because the games do kind of look the same every year now, but how much more could you do? I understand, but I just think you can always do more. So that's one thing that fears me about jumping wrestlers from one game to the other.
Well, this is 2024, and there's this little thing called AI. It might auto upscale it or something. I'm just saying, there's got to be a way to auto upscale it to the new game.
Yeah,
like they have to invent that system. I don't know.
Maybe they can bring back the promote stuff, but like with actual AI. So that it makes sense now, instead of like them turning heel each promo and them turning face the next one. I don't know if you guys remember.
AI is kind of scary, just because it could make things get lazy. And like if you see an AI generated picture, when you see it, that's an AI generated picture, right? Can everybody identify those?
Yeah.
I just hope they don't start doing that for like storylines and stuff, and you're just going through the story like, oh, AI generated this. But like, you know what? It could be good though. It could be good if they actually use it in the right way, making AI generated stories. Like instead of doing creative story, it could be that could be really cool.
Could be their catapult instead of their like band-aid.
For universe mode, auto-generated matches, feuds, and cutscenes. That would be please.
Yeah, that'd be so much fun.
AI is getting big, so maybe they can do it. I don't know,
because like I see a lot of those videos saying like, "Oh, I made ChatGPT book Monday Night Raw for a month." Like you can actually do that in universe mode. There you go. See what happens. Like holy, that'd be so fun.
No,
right. True.
Real quick, like what's the major selling point of a game called Pokemon? All your little critters carry over to the next game.
Right.
Probably why people, a lot of them, right?
Well, I don't know. They might start making WWE 2K24 red and WWE 2K24 blue.
Well,
here's John Cena.
Back down in Raw, right?
Get him.
Anyway, I'll just say.
That'll be kind of scary. You don't get these wrestlers in this game. You got to buy both of them.
Oh my god!
They did that with the PSP one, didn't they? You had to buy both to get
SmackDown roster, Raw roster.
Yeah,
you want Roman Reigns, you got to get the SmackDown edition. You want CM Punk, you got to get the Raw edition.
What have I done? No.
Hey, make 2 different developers make it, and I'll be down with it though.
If it's 2 different developers, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
I could have sworn they did that in one of the wrestling games. Do you remember which one it was?
I don't remember.
It had something to do with the PSP. They locked out. I think it was Randy Orton. They locked out Randy Orton, and if you didn't have the console version, you couldn't play as Randy Orton in the PSP version. Chad, if you know what I'm talking about, sound off in the comments, because that used to annoy me. I was like, what?
That was a while ago.
Yeah, you remember that, right? Okay. Yeah.
Mike, we can't cancel Christmas on AEW, man. I got to hold out hope. Tony Khan's just going a little crazy today. We got to get him some medicine, but they'll be all right. But moving on from WWE 2K24, Mr.Dubbs, there was an update on Ultra Pro Wrestling. I didn't have a chance to take a look at it, but I believe you did. If you can inform us on what's new, like what do we find out?
So they put out an email. So if you're a Patreon subscriber of theirs, you would have actually seen some of these videos already, because one of them was from like 3 months ago, one was from like 2 months ago, one was from like a month ago, and then one was from like a week ago. But these were videos that they normally put out on their Patreon subscribers to help try and finance the game, where they'll just give you little insights into the create a wrestler, create an arena, different features, title belts, designs, just little things, giving you like just little snippets of what they're currently working on. And they were, a lot of them were just nice deep dive videos into this is what the created wrestler looks like so far. This is what the character select screen is going to look like. And then they showed a whole video on him like going through the created wrestler, just morphing the body size and change, just like how you can change everything. He showed the color wheel, how you can change skin tones and or attire colors and everything. And then the most recent one was him going through the create arena. Create an arena or create a show. Sorry, it was create a show. It wasn't just arena. It was create a show, and how it, the venue size can change based on like you can set the percentages. Like if you want it 100% full, or if you want like a partly empty. Like if you want an AEW television weekly show, maybe half your arena can be empty. If you want to do
that's a low blow.
I had to throw it out there. I had to, but you can do that with the created arena, and then the different arena style and the size of the arena will actually change what the backstage area is. So the backstage areas, they're going to have multiple. Yeah, so the different backstage areas will depend on the size of the arena. So if you have a massive Tokyo Dome style or WrestleMania style, all-in style giant arena, you'll have a much bigger backstage area with more rooms and stuff you can go into. Whereas if you're like at a small indie show, it'll be a much smaller one. But I think they said they only have about 3 different backstage templates, but they will have different branding. Like, so if it's, say you have your AEW show with AEW logos, then you'd have like AEW posters in the backstage area versus like the Japanese one will have different. So it'll still feel different no matter what promotion you're in, even if you're seeing the same backstage areas. But the creating an arena was cool. He was going over how just, how you can change the ropes, what their ideas are for having a stage and being able to change different parts of the stage. Because I know this is a big thing for Clint. As with your creating arena, whenever you talk in 2K24, that's one of the big things is you can't really change much about the stage. He didn't get into full detail of like how you can edit things because I don't think they're there that far yet. But he was just explaining how there's 2 different things. There's the Titantron, but it's not just the Tron. It's also like everything that'll be on the stage. So if you have like a big backlash set with like the the hooks coming in, stuff like that, all that will be part of the Tron. Like everything that's standing up. Whereas if you just go the stage itself, it's more just like the ramp and what kind of a ramp and that kind of thing it is. But they're allowing you to change that, change the kind of barricades you're using. So, I mean, pretty standard fare for what we've seen from 2K games and even AEW Fight Forever, but maybe a little bit more things that you have a little bit of flexibility on. What I thought was cool, just the fact that you can change the amount of crowd that's in each arena, and you can set that yourself if you want it 60% full, 100% full, and it'll actually give you a number of what the rough number is. Like it showed in one video, he said it was 90% full, and for that kind of stadium, it was like 16,974.
I like that.
And, that is pretty cool. I thought Clint said in one of his videos that it'd be cool if you could like change the shape of the crowd. Like, let's say you want to make the crowd sit in like an L shape. I think stuff like that would be kind of cool to add in as well. So if you can go fight in the crowd, I mean, you can go like maneuver around them. I think that is a great idea.
I don't know if you can specifically change the layout of the seating however you want, or if they have set templates for that, but they do have different arena shapes for that kind of thing. Like I've seen ones where ramps are like more to this way, or it's more on the left. So I don't know exactly, because he hasn't gotten into specifics yet of how much of that we can customize, or how much it's just going to say, maybe there's 4 templates where the ramp will go here, ramp will go here, ramp will go here. You know what I mean? But I'm imagining you'll be able to make something like a Daly's Place, at least at some point, to have that,
So that definitely does sound very complex. I recommend everybody go check out the Patreon for Ultra Pro Wrestling if you want to see the video in great detail. Go ahead, Mr. Dubbs. You have something else to add for us?
Yeah, one thing I forgot that I thought was really cool is he has different ring shapes that you can choose from. So they have the indie style ring, which is like an 18 by 18, but they also have the WWE style, which is a 20 by 20. And you can also change to a 6-sided ring. They showed that, like a Mexican style. And you can also change it to an MMA style cage. So you can you can make MMA arenas, you can make wrestling arenas, and you have like the different options there too. That I thought was a very unique feature.
Wow.
All right. Well, again, I recommend y'all go check out the Ultra Pro Wrestling Patreon if you want to see the full details on that customization. But one thing I saw them ask on Twitter is if you could have one legend added to the game, who would it be? Now, in this case, it doesn't have to be a legend. Let's say anybody on the free market right now who could be put in this game that hasn't been announced already. Who would y'all like to see added? For me, I'm going Dolph Ziggler. Who you got, Bryan?
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna go with Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle, bro.
Okay.
Big fan.
That's an interesting one.
I
Okay,
can't think of anybody
Kero.
else.
To UPW,
Yeah, any wrestler on the
Man.
free market.
any wrestler on the free market. Then I'm gonna go. I don't know if he counts, but I'm feeling Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker.
Right, he's about to be free, right?
Mhm.
Nice.
I guess so.
Interesting conversation we can have there, but let's just keep it
Yeah.
going. Mr. Dubbs, if you could have one wrestler and you can't say top dollar because it's Taco Kid already said that. So you got to say somebody else.
Stole it from me. Taco Kid. You know what, Taco Kid? I'll give you this one. I have two in mind that I want, as they're two of my favorite wrestlers. But if we're just picking one, I have to go with my man, the epitome of video game characters. And I know Sam is a huge fan as well. And he is going to be giving me proper animations, as he promised, for a Van Terminator from the man himself, Rob Van Dam. I think that would be an amazing selling feature, because he said not all DLCs will have exclusive attire parts. Like some people will, some people won't. So they're going to try and make sure they have exclusive move animations that are exclusive to some DLC to give you more of a reason to buy them. Smart, best selling point on an RVD, have him have a unique Van Terminator animation with the chair and everything. Boom, done. That and the Van Daminator have those things. The Van Daminator have those exclusive to RVD. RVD is going to be selling a lot of DLCs. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, Rob Van Dam. That's a great one. Definitely one of my favorites. Probably my favorite wrestler from the ECW era. Dummy account, yeah, says Shanky. Matt Batten says Triple H. I wish they could get Triple H, but I don't think it's going to happen. But let's go ahead and move on to Loaded.
So free agent. Well,
Any free
MJF.
agent added to Ultra
MJF.
MJF? Ah, that's a good
Bidding
one.
War
He's not on the roster.
2024.
I forgot he's not under contract.
He's not
right?
on the roster page, so they removed him. So yeah.
Yep, they
There you go.
removed him. They're running that angle. We'll see how it works out. Who would you pick, Clint?
Well, since they're considered as one, I would have to say the Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal.
Oh,
Like they would fit
okay.
that game so well, and I want to see how Haney draw them. They're so awesome. They're my favorite tag team, and I want those shoulder pads in the game. Those awesome creation parts. Yeah. So
Whatever.
Legion of
All right.
Doom.
But we're not going to stop there. We're not going to stop there. What about one woman? Because nobody said a woman. What legendary woman would you like to see added to Ultra Pro Wrestling? No, Kero, the GOAT, Valentine. I'm going first, and I'm saying Sable. Because Sable doesn't get her flowers these days. She was like my favorite growing up. She was a bad one. You know, put her in the game with the hand tattoo or the hand
Oh my god.
outfit and all that stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, I think it's because Brock Lesnar doesn't want him in these her in these games and stuff. But that's who I would go with. I want to see Sable in a WWE game or Ultra Pro Wrestling, whatever. Put her in
And
something.
if Brock Lesnar doesn't want something, it's not happening.
It's not going to
so.
happen. They don't need the money, so
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see it. But what do you think, Bryan? If you had to pick one woman for Ultra Pro Wrestling, who you going with?
I'm gonna go with Mercedes.
That's a good one. You know, it's fair. That's a fair one. Fair to say. Fair to say. Kero the GOAT, Valentine.
I want them
I'm
to
sorry,
make
you're
it
such a GOAT. I keep saying it, but Kero Valentine.
It's all right. It's all right. Everyone does that mistake in real life too. Like, oh, you must be Kero the GOAT when they look at me. But if they can't get Triple H, why not get Stephanie McMahon? She's not in the WWE right now, right? She's
Right.
kind of away from there. Break the news, break the internet, make a sensation, get Stephanie in there. Or
Yeah.
AJ Lee.
That'd be a big
More
get.
realistic.
I said get Stephanie.
Okay.
What do you got to say, Mr. Dubbs?
I would have to say and go against the grain here, and for me it would be for my own selfish reasons of I'm all about the creation suite and getting more awesome, unique moves that wouldn't otherwise be in the game. So I'm going to go with someone like a Manami Toyota, or just anyone from the Japanese women's sides that have like some of them have these devastating, like I see them on Pro Wrestle or whatever it is, post the stuff on X and Twitter all the time of these crazy, insane impacts and moves, and just like some of the stuff like that we thought, it's like, did Will Ospreay invent this move? It's like, no, this woman in Japan was doing it in 95.
Yeah.
Like, so just anyone like that. Manami Toyota is the first name that came to name.
That's a good call out.
But just
I like it
any
too.
of those women that are going to put these unique moves into the game, I would like to see.
So we
that.
got Mercedes, Toyota. What else?
Sable.
No, I was
It's not a car
making
brand.
a car joke.
Oh,
Come on, Kenny, get with the program.
Is there any woman named Tesla?
Sable's what, like a lion or something, right? Isn't that an animal?
Yeah.
Loaded. What do you got?
Trish
Did you ever like women's
Stratus?
wrestling? I'm sorry, you got one for us?
I'll say Trish Stratus.
Oh, okay. Is she still under contract with WWE though?
She's about to have a run right now.
Is she?
In
Mhm.
WWE?
Yeah, she's coming back.
Oh, she's coming back again?
Yeah, she
Ooh,
already
okay.
said she's gonna have
Oh
another
man,
run.
let's get her in
Free
AEW.
agent, sir. Get a real free agent for a change.
Mike
I don't
Diesel
know what to
says
choose.
Michelle McCool. I'm sure they got her locked down too because of the Undertaker.
Candice Michelle, she's still on the contract. Maybe
I don't think
Okay.
she is. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, that could
That's a good
happen.
one. All right, Candice Michelle and Clint, Stryzer 2 Wrestling.
I'm gonna throw a little curveball here. She was a champion at one point, but she kept getting hurt. I'm gonna say Melina.
Sasha Banks. You said
Oh,
Melina?
From MMM. This should put
I
all
knew you were
Melina,
gonna go
that'd be
there.
that was a
awesome.
good
The whole
one.
entrance and
I knew
everything.
Kenny was going there.
You said her entrance?
Yeah, the whole
get the
entrance,
entrance in there.
everything.
Let's do it. Melina,
Melina
that's a
was
great
very
pick
cool.
too.
Yeah,
You know,
Melina was pretty
giggity.
cool.
You know, giggity. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to Batista. All right, next up, we got to talk about Sasha Banks. Mercedes Moné, because I'm hearing stories that she's going to AEW. She's going to show up tomorrow. But then there's other stories saying that she's going to WWE. Apparently, her name was removed from somewhere, and they said that's what usually happens before a wrestler goes to WWE. I'm not sure. Did anybody know that full story or what happened with that?
No, sir.
I mean, I know that her song got removed off Apple Music, but like,
I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
heard
was.
about it, but I didn't know the full details.
Yeah, they said that usually happens before wrestlers go to WWE.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a flip of a coin right now because I'm hearing people report it both ways. Where do you think it's going to go, Brian?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if I don't see Mercedes debut in AEW before the Rumble, I'm just gonna put all my eggs in a
It's a
basket
wrap.
for the Rumble.
I
If
think
she
you gotta
does,
make a good point.
if she does happen to debut, then obviously we all know. But if TK got like 2 or 3 weeks to pull the trigger on this, bro. I mean, I know that the reporters keep saying, "Oh, this is eminently is gonna happen," but they've been saying this for 2 weeks, and we still have yet to see her. So I think if we don't see her by the Rumble, I think we will see her in the Rumble.
You know what? I cannot argue with that fact. I think Tony Khan is kind of throwing the back in the Brinks truck up at her door, and she's kind of playing the game. I think she wants to go back to WWE, but she's getting all of these big money offers from AEW and
She's
kind of
using
using them
AEW
against
as leverage.
WWE. But WWE is like, I give you that kind of money. You're crazy. But they're bringing Naomi back. So I don't know. That could be an indication that Sasha Banks could be making her return to WWE. But I don't know. It's a tricky one because I think Tony Khan is definitely backing that truck up to her door. What do you think, Kero?
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. But okay, I've been saying the whole time, and I genuinely believe it. Sasha Banks is going back as Sasha Banks. Maybe she'll change her name to Money, but she's going back to the WWE. That's what I've been thinking. If you go back to like 3 months, like a month ago, watch another WGC episode. I said she's going there, and honestly, it just makes sense. Like, I don't see any reason why she would go to AEW. I don't think she's gonna like the culture there either. Like, she would have to be completely blind and talk to nobody in the wrestling business to not know what's going on there. That's number one. Like, that's the only way she can go to AEW. Or the only other way is Tony Khan, like you said, backs up that truck with a whole lot of money. So much money that, you know, Shawn Michaels came out of retirement. Like, it's possible. So, hey, screw it. Like, I don't care what happens. I'm getting so much money. I will not have to worry about working a day of my life after this. I'm going to AEW. If that doesn't happen, though, which I don't think it will happen, I will stand on this. And I think she's coming back to the WWE and Royal Rumble looking like the place that's going to happen.
You know what? I cannot argue with that fact either. Before, like last week, I would have argued with you, but I can't. I can't argue with it. I think anything is possible at this point. But shout out to Real Take Wrestling for our first ever super chat on the channel.
Oh my
199.
goodness.
He says, Jinder about to finish the story before Cody. Don't worry, Omer. I'm about to hit Brian with these facts before we finish up here tonight. Now, again, shout out to Omer, man. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Omer, appreciate you, man.
Awesome.
Let's go ahead to Mr.Dubbs. Where do you think Sasha Banks is going to end up, or do you think we see Mercedes Moné continue to live on?
It's a tough. Is she injured right now? Currently, Mercedes.
I don't
I
know
think she's
more.
better. I think she's good now.
Yeah, I think she's
If
good
she's
to go.
good now, I thought it was really telling that we did not see her at Wrestle Kingdom. Because regardless if she was going to AEW or not, I think she would have, like, she was one of the headlining spots last year at Wrestle Kingdom. It was one of the biggest moments was her showing up there. So the fact that she did not show up there, to me, is a sign leading in the direction of WWE. I mean, I hope she goes to AEW because I personally would love to see her there, and I enjoy watching AEW. I prefer it to watching WWE, so I'd like to see her there more often. But I mean, I can understand if they're willing to pay, if WWE is willing to pay the money, you know she's going there. I think for any wrestler, 99% of them are going to go to WWE if the money's even comparable. I think AEW has to pay about double as a minimum for what WWE would for most people to go over there if they're a big top name. If they're going to be featured prominently in WWE, AEW's got to pay them at least double. And if AEW does that, then I think they get Mercedes. But it's going to be at least $5 million a year for Mercedes to go to AEW is what I think.
Quick question based on what you just said. Do you think CM Punk is making more money in WWE than he was making in AEW?
Probably not.
Or did he take a pay cut?
Probably
I
not.
think because of he had nowhere else to go, he probably got a pay cut.
Yeah.
That's a stinger.
But I think I hold the caveat of merch sales is going to be much bigger for him in WWE, and that's where Stone Cold made all of his money.
I don't know because it depends on that bag. Again, Tony Khan is willing to back that truck up. So if he backed it up for CM Punk, I don't know. I'm
just saying I think the only way he could make as much is based on the merch sales top of his regular thing. I mean, the SmackDown show I was at, Cody Rhodes merch, CM Punk merch, prominently displayed. You know what I mean? There was decent amount of merch there, but there was more, other than Kevin Owens, there was more like top Raw guys than SmackDown guys. I like Roman had shirts, obviously, but you best believe my girlfriend and I both got CM Punk t-shirts. So,
well, at the AEW show me and Bryan went to, no merch.
Yeah, it was just a big $50 hoodies with AEW logos on it.
That's it.
Oh
and an $800 belt.
Yeah. That somebody behind me on the line had.
Damn.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. The belt
were they $800?
The belt looked beautiful. No, the belts are $500 for WWE, but AEW.
WWE here was.
You should have talked to him, man. Become friends.
Wait, what
in Canada. It was more than 500 at my show, but that's in.
Yeah. But like USD wise, the belts for WWE they're $500, and the AEW one is $800 plus tax. But that's pretty pricey.
I'm gonna get one of them. Shout out to me.
That's right.
All right, loaded. What do you think? What do you think? Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné ends up?
I think she ends up in WWE for sure.
Do you think that's the best spot for her?
I don't know if it's the best. Nah, AEW is the best landing spot. I just don't think she'll last long there because
it's crazy.
Because of her attitude. Because she's kind of like CM Punk. She don't really deal with BS. Like she might have a backstage fight with Britt Baker.
Yeah, right. Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa.
I can see it happening. Either she'll have a backstage fight, or she's gonna walk out of the company.
Like she did the WWE. I mean,
over creative, over Tony Khan's stupid ass booking and creative. So like, it can happen.
Yeah. So another report I read, they said that she would be like guaranteed. She would be guaranteed one spot on every show, like her own segment. Did anybody else read that? They were like, I think it was Dave Meltzer. He was saying that they were giving her like, they're kind of like rolling out the red carpet, giving her whatever she wants. So if they give her that and they give her her own spot and then put another women's match on the show, it could really help build up their women's division. But I think they would really need to work on that before it gets done. What do you think, Clint?
Well, I think you're all wrong. She's not going to AEW. She's not going to WWE. She's going to piss off the management at both places because she's demanding all these things. And I think she's going to end up over there on Impact or TNA Wrestling.
Oh.
She's going to have to eat some humble pie before she goes back to WWE or AEW. That's just me because I feel like she's difficult to work with and she's going to have all these demands. Thinking if you've watched the Stone Cold podcast that he does or the Broken Skull sessions, and if you watch her mannerisms, she truly thinks she's the greatest of all time.
Oh, that's
who
bad.
she is. And if you have no humility whatsoever, and you think you're the best, like, and no matter what, then it's going to make you extremely difficult to want to hire for your company. So I say she doesn't end up in either because she's too demanding. I say she goes to TNA or even AWA or some other wrestling company we haven't heard of. OVW. She goes to OVW. I don't know.
Holy, yo, you got some-
OVW,
Hold
whoa.
on.
That
Over there
is
with
wild,
Alcino.
bro.
Didn't TNA say they got a big
Put some dirt
signing
on her.
at Hard to Kill, right?
But shout out to
Oh.
Real Take Wrestling, Omer
my
again.
boy,
with the
appreciate you,
$4.99
man.
super chat. He says Mercedes is kind of like CM Punk. That was low key flagrant. I had to send another super chat. It's the fact. CM Punk walked out on WWE. Sasha Banks walked out on WWE, and she's a crybaby just like him. She was outside of the office, laying down on the floor, apparently crying and beating the ground because she couldn't get a
Allegedly.
match, or whatever she wanted.
I mean,
can-
they both just don't put up with BS. You know?
I mean, you can put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can
Sasha
debate
was
on the
getting done dirt.
semantics,
She was
but
getting
man.
done dirt, bro. I'm pretty sure her first WrestleMania win was her with Naomi winning the tag champs, bro. The tag team championships. I'd be
Was that
pissed
her
too.
first one?
It's not a problem. That's a title. That's a good spot.
She still
Triple H
lost
all
she-
his matches.
Yeah, she lost all. Nah, I
Who
mean,
was it,
bro.
Kero? Because I was thinking about who lost
Let's
all
not
their
do that
matches?
with Triple H.
It
Bro.
was
Triple
Triple
H is a
H.
horrible
Yeah.
example, bro. Triple H buried everybody he got the chance to bury.
Triple H didn't have the pencil, so he
Stop
couldn't bury
it.
anybody. He
Stop
might have had
it.
the shovel, but he
I
didn't
hate
write
hearing
the
that.
burial.
I hate every time you say that, Kenny. That's such a load of BS. He
Triple
didn't
H
have
never
the
had the
pencil, so he had
pencil.
no
Loaded
influence.
BS.
We know
It doesn't
Vince
matter.
He
McMahon
might as
was
well
the
have
man.
had the pencil.
So
Like,
Hulk Hogan didn't need a pencil to bury anyone he wanted ever. He didn't need a pencil either. Telling me, are you trying to tell me right now Hulk Hogan never buried anyone either because he didn't have a pencil?
yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
come on.
Kenny over there
it's true.
tripping.
Yeah, he never did. Whoever has the pencil is the only person capable of burying anybody.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
That's a fact.
No,
Yeah,
it's
but
Because
that
you're
person
gonna
can be
I'm gonna write
influenced,
this
you know?
down, and you're gonna go out there and do what I tell you to do.
No,
You
not
can give me a
not if you
suggestion,
have
but I
a
have to
personal
accept that
relationship
suggestion.
like Triple H did with Vince McMahon. He
like-
can tell him anything. That's his right hand man.
Exactly.
Kenny, what you said would be right if the person who had the pencil was like a robot or an AI where you couldn't like influence them in any way.
Yes.
Well, I don't know because you
You
think
lost,
about it.
buddy.
Vince McMahon was a boss. They said you had wrestlers saying you'd go into Vince McMahon's office saying like, "I need to win the title, Vince," and he would talk to you and make you believe you don't need to win the title and what this next thing is better. And you'd walk out the office like, "Okay, wait a minute, what did he just say to me?" I think Chris Jericho said that. Like he'd go in there with the idea of what he wanted to do, and Vince said, "No, you don't. You don't even want to do that, and here's why." And then they'd walk out believing what he said. Vince is a boss. Vince did what Vince wanted to do.
Well, here's the thing. I made a poll on the chat, by the way. 12 people voted, and it's 58% WWE and 42% AEW for where does Sasha Banks go? That was the question. So if you want to participate in the poll, go ahead, guys, and do it.
Go
Also,
ahead.
I think we're at like 25 likes right now, right? So Kenny said it. 100 likes. Some of you,
Likes up.
or one of you gets a WWE 2K24.
Wait a minute. We got 30 people in here with 26 likes. Let's go ahead and cut it. 50 likes, and we're going to give away a copy of WWE 2K24.
All right, 50 likes.
go.
That's totally
I got
doable.
it.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah.
Let's do it. 50 likes, we give away a copy of WWE 2K24. At this
By
point,
the
I'm just
end
giving
of the
it away.
stream. By
Just
the end of the stream.
for appreciation.
Nice.
Oh, Matt Batten says CM Punk is a different guy now. Matt, this was like 3 months ago. He's not a different guy. Did he go to church and speak to the pastor or something? And I think that's the only way.
I mean, so far, he's been all right, bro. I haven't heard
So
no
far.
reports of Punk.
So
We'll see.
far, speaking of that, CM Punk being a different guy, let's go ahead and move on to our main event, and that's WWE talk for the main event of WrestleMania. Now, Drew McIntyre went in there with CM Punk, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a fire segment. I love
cooking.
Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre's energy in there with him, and I think, as me and Dubbs were talking about earlier, Drew McIntyre outshined him. Drew McIntyre said, "Me and some boys got some bets in the back that you're only gonna last for like a month."
I love
and
that,
you're
yeah.
That
costing
was
people
funny.
money right now. I thought that was a great line, and it's the truth. How long will CM Punk last in WWE? Did y'all see that promo from Drew McIntyre? If so, what did y'all think about it?
Man, I'll start off quickly by saying I thought it was awesome. Yeah, that line you just mentioned, I love the fact that he said that because we say it all the time in the podcast. I was like, oh, what is this, WGC podcast? And I also love Drew kind of loosened up, like when CM Punk went up and like laid down on the top rope.
Yeah.
Drew also did it back to him, which I'm pretty sure wasn't in the script at all. But like
Yeah.
Drew, I think is pretty good. Like he went off script a little bit, not completely, but just a little bit, and that really added to this. It was super enjoyable. The fact that CM Punk just came out of nowhere when nobody was expecting him to, and like when he came out to Seth Rollins, he said nothing, right? So we were expecting like left hungover, wanting something more, and finally we got like a legit, decent, actual CM Punk segment. So I loved it, and I'm gonna end the voting here for Sasha. By the way, most of us in the chat think that Sasha is going to the WWE, but yeah.
All right. So I agree with you. Like they did seem really loose in there. And when Drew McIntyre said that, like the we got bets going on backstage thing, I think CM Punk kind of stepped in. He was like, okay, hey, calm down or something like that. And I was like, wait a minute. Because he kind of gets offended during promos. Anybody else saw it? What else do you guys think about it?
It's offended over what?
He gets offended during promos. Like Hangman went in there and cooked him.
That's because he didn't know what he was gonna say.
Cooked him with
He didn't know what he was gonna say.
with real
Caught him off
business
guard.
stuff, bro. I mean,
He cooked him, period. I don't care what it was with. See him, Hangman went in there and fried that boy like a flounder.
he low blowed him, and
I
I
feel
guess
like-
that's great.
Sorry. I was just
But
gonna
shout
say,
out to Matt Batten. You are right. People do change, and I do understand that. But you know what? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is CM Punk's like third or fourth time. So I don't know.
Yeah, but
Anybody
the
else
promo
got
was
any
great.
thoughts on the promo before we
The
move
promo was
forward?
really good. I really enjoyed it.
I was gonna say something.
I thought of
I was just gonna say this is exactly what Drew needed to help
Yeah.
him get a little boost because losing the all those title matches really kind of hurt him, I think. But I feel like this put him right back up there. I felt like he hung with CM Punk, and CM Punk even looked a little like didn't know what to say. Like it looked like CM Punk was just like, "F it, I'm out. I'll just say this and leave." Because
Yeah, I think he kind of got
he's
flustered
getting a little
lost at
annoyed.
the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I've noticed about the CM Punk promos is I think if they're at least trying to make it feel like a lot of it isn't just scripted, where it's a lot
Right.
more his input and his off the top, and I feel like they're giving whoever he's in there with that same opportunity. And it seemed like Drew, I mean, I don't know how scripted that line was, but just the taking bets line was so funny to me that like, we're surprised you're still here. You're costing a lot of people a lot of money. CM Punk flustered a couple lines in his retort, and I do think Drew looked great in this segment. I thought CM Punk, as entertaining as it always is to hear him cut a promo, I thought he flubbed a few lines, and Drew looked good. I didn't think CM Punk looked bad. I thought the lines of how Drew, you were following me and as a locker room leader. I laughed about the joke about the straight edge societies. Like, if you want, you can go shave your head and we can really get you on route. But when he's made the line, he says, well, you left, you made a name for yourself, you came back, you won a Royal Rumble, you main evented WrestleMania. So now I'm looking to you to follow in your footsteps. He kind of flubbed lines saying that, but he was trying to say that it's like, now I'm just trying to follow your lead and do exactly what you did. And I'm going to make sure when I win the Royal Rumble, I'll save you for last. And I really like that line. I was
going to point that out too. That was a good line.
I really
like that. CM Punk was necessarily bad in the segment, but I was more impressed with Drew because I felt
we don't
like
expect that
for a long time. But I think now he's kind of getting that fire back.
Because we don't expect that out of Drew, it was great.
Yeah.
And because we expect so much out of CM Punk. CM Punk even said at the beginning of the promo, you're not known for talking. This is like my thing. But you know what? You're talking too much. And he's like, but he had to like catch himself because he's like, wait, this is what I do. So I thought he got a little flustered there because I think they probably did let them go a little more off the top than they normally would for most of the promos. So, but I really enjoyed the segment, and I personally really enjoyed this Raw as a whole. I mean, I skipped through, fast forwarded some matches and stuff, but overall, this was one of the better Raws I've seen. I mean, in my recent memory.
Bryan, we gotta welcome him to the house of the WWE. Our new brother, Mr.Dubbs. Welcome.
I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to a WWE game. What's going on? It must be
WrestleMania. We love WWE. I don't know why I keep saying like we don't. Yeah,
it's that time.
Great.
No. Kenny, don't try to join the train now, my boy.
AEW is better. Don't get it twisted. AEW is better, but I still love the WWE. I mean, it's fine.
It's not better. Your boy is crashing out.
Where you were born, brother.
Your boy is crashing out.
Nah, it's a fact though. It's a fact. But do y'all think they will actually stick with this? Are they going to end the Royal Rumble with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
No.
Are those
Nah.
two guys
Oh.
strong enough to in the Royal Rumble?
No,
Will
CM
one of these
Punk.
guys win the Royal Rumble? Who will win the Royal Rumble? I need to know who everybody's prediction is.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and start with Bryan. Let's take it across the board.
I think CM Punk is gonna win the Rumble.
Oh, ugh. I got a question about that. Can we talk about it really quick? Are y'all okay with us talking about it? If
Do it.
CM Punk
Okay.
wins the Royal Rumble, like he just said, he wants to go main event WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
How do you do that?
You challenge for whatever title you see fit, just like when Edge won the
No.
Royal Rumble.
There's only
Or
one
just-
title.
Yeah.
Either you're going to make
remember
CM
Edge
Punk
and
look like
Alberto
a
Del Rio?
complete
I believe
idiot.
that was the Royal
he's
Rumble
gonna-
winner for that main event.
Bro,
But I
Remember
think
that?
either you're going to
Kenny.
make CM Punk look like a complete idiot,
It's
or
not-
he's going one-on-one with
You don't.
Roman Reigns
No,
night
you
two.
don't.
Where you already know
They
his
call-
this against Rollins.
It's main event
Why?
in WWE
Why
speak.
would you win the Royal Rumble and pick Seth Rollins? So
I mean,
Because
we're
that's
gonna-
the guy you're
CM
feuding
Punk
with.
is an idiot.
That's who he's going
Because
against.
it's scripted television.
And two,
Well,
we want to talk about how unimportant the title is. I think this would give the title a good feel as well, that Punk actually chose to go for that title. You guys, like, we can't contradict ourselves neither just to change it for the narrative. At the beginning of the show, we said, oh, the championship feels unimportant. Now, if Punk goes on ahead and chooses it, now he's dumb. This gives the title an elevation that we want.
Well, I got a question for you.
elevation.
If you're the guy in WWE, let's say Bryan,
Uh-huh.
you're in there. Boom, you the man. Triple H loves you. He books you to win the Royal Rumble. Now it's your choice. All in kayfabe. You
Yeah,
pick
but
who
you
you're
don't
going
have
to
the
fight at the
pencil.
Royal Rumble.
You don't have the
You
pencil.
hate Seth Rollins.
He doesn't have the
But
pencil.
Roman Reigns
But he
is the
doesn't have the
man. Who are you
pencil.
going to
He
pick to
doesn't
face
have
at
the
Royal
pencil.
Rumble?
He doesn't
Or
have
at
the pencil.
WrestleMania.
Okay,
He has no
yes.
influence. Yes, he
Yeah,
doesn't have a pencil.
if we're speaking on who am I gonna pick, obviously you're gonna pick that title. But right now we're talking about
who you going to pick. You got. I need you to answer the question. I need
you
the
would,
name.
I mean, you would face
The
Roman
answer is
Reigns.
he doesn't have a
Okay,
pencil.
that's all I needed to know.
But no, how does that influence the answer at all?
CM Punk is an idiot. You're the guy in
Hold
this
on.
position
No,
and
he's
you win
not.
the Royal
It's
Rumble. You're going to
predetermined.
challenge Seth Rollins when you left the WWE
He
because
has
you want
beef with
main
Seth.
event
Why
WrestleMania.
would he?
Kenny,
Listen,
what you mean to say is the man with the pencil is the idiot.
No,
Why
no,
would
CM
he
Punk
not?
is an idiot.
Yeah,
Kenny,
CM
I'm
Punk
not
is
saying
gonna
Kenny,
still get
He doesn't
damaged.
have the
Kenny,
pencil.
I'm not
why-
saying
Why?
about
Since you're
Kenny.
going
Kenny.
for the United States
He has
Championship
no
with the Money in the
influence.
Bank, it's the
Nah,
same
hold
thing.
on, hold on. If Seth Rollins has the title and he's feuding with Seth Rollins, why wouldn't there be all the incentive in the world to take that championship that Seth Rollins has? Why would he win the Rumble, still feud with Seth Rollins, and be like, nah, I'm not going to take his title away. Let me go for Roman, even though they have nothing there right at this moment. You got to
Because
go
his
for
main
Rollins.
goal is to main event WrestleMania, as it has always been.
Yeah.
So if you want to main event WrestleMania, you take Roman Reigns on night 2, not Seth Rollins on night 1.
It
On
seems
the
like
buy
he's
one
okay.
get one free WrestleMania extravaganza. Like he said to MJF. I mean, he said it out his own mouth.
I mean, he's going to be here for 3 years, so I don't think this is the end of the road for him, but this counts as a WrestleMania main event, bro, so it is what it
Yeah,
is.
he might. If you think he's going to make it 3 years, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think he's calm now. He has nowhere else to go, so I think he's got to relax and hold his horses.
We'll see. Because if somebody, we'll see what happens.
he may
But
crash and burn. We'll
personally,
see.
I think if CM Punk goes to challenge for world heavyweight championship
It's
over
gonna
the
happen.
Universal, they're just making him look like an idiot. But let's go ahead, Kero. Who do you think's
To
going to win the
you.
Royal Rumble? And who
First of
shouldn't?
all, I just want to quickly say, like, CM Punk is not going anywhere, I feel, because he got a whole bunch of money from AEW and he didn't lose any of it, right? From like
Nah.
say,
AEW
yeah,
had
like,
to hold that L.
yeah. So Danny went on and signed with the WWE. Sure, he earns less money, sure, but like that's still millions upon millions, and so I think he'll be fine for money. And he's not working a intense schedule, so I don't think he's gonna get too bitchy about things. So I think he'll be fine. As far as his morale goes. Now, as far as the Royal Rumble goes, oh man, I want to say it's tough, but it really isn't. It's CM Punk. Like it's got to be CM Punk. No matter what happens at WrestleMania, no matter if he makes that stupid choice, because I agree with you, Kenny. Like, why wouldn't you choose the biggest prize and the biggest night? Like, we're talking about The Rock should be main event in WrestleMania. It's the same logic, right? You got to go for the big guy, like the biggest thing you can get. So I think Punk is winning. Where he goes after that, I'm okay with seeing both, but I think so too. Like, he has to go for Roman Reigns, the biggest prize out there.
All right. That's going to be a tough call. But
It is.
Mr. Dubbs, what do you think?
I think that makes the most sense for CM Punk to win it. Otherwise, it'll be Cody. But because I don't think The Rock's going to be in it at all. We still don't know where The Rock is going to wrestle Roman, whether it's going to be Elimination Chamber or not. But I think it makes all the sense in the world for CM Punk to win it. I would have loved to have seen him against Roman, but obviously, again, he doesn't have the pencil. So I would say The Rock is going to be facing Roman either at Chamber or WrestleMania. So CM
Who
Punk's
wins the Royal
not gonna
Rumble?
win. I said CM Punk.
CM Punk. So
CM
that's
Punk.
your final answer. Okay. Well, we
For
got
the
a
winner
lot
of
of
the
CM
Rumble,
Punks in here. Okay.
But I also think that how many years have we had an Edge win the Royal Rumble only to main event WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title in the opener?
But
So
that's never been Edge's thing, though. Edge never.
No, but it doesn't matter. I'm saying specifically the fact that they say main event, the winner of the Royal Rumble gets the main event. You're not in the main event if The Rock and Cena are wrestling. You're not in the main event if Undertaker's defending the streak versus career against Shawn Michaels. There was no Royal Rumble winner in that WrestleMania main event. I'm just telling you, it's never the main event if that's not what the story calls for. The pencil, the all-important pencil. If you have a buy one, get one free 2-night special, you can main event one of the nights. But that's also going to take one of the main event nights away from the women again this year. So I think your main event of night one is still going to be
match
CM
that
Punk.
happens on Sunday Night Last.
What about the people who paid for night one? What is their main event?
I
They have to have a main
agree.
event. They have to have a main event for an evening.
I 1000% agree with you.
Night one.
You have to have a main event on both nights.
We obviously know night two is always going to have another big match, but for night one, the people that are going, like Dub said, that's their main event. That's the main event. Yeah. He's being promoted. He's being promoted in the top match of that night, and that's just what it is. He's the main event.
Steve Austin,
right, he's being promoted as the top match of that night, but he's not being promoted as the top match of WrestleMania because that match happens on Sunday night in the last spot.
I don't know.
You will never see Roman Reigns. You will never see Roman Reigns on night one main event in WrestleMania unless he's wrestling on night two as well.
Because his title is ridiculous. Why would you
put Steve Austin? You saw Steve Austin main event night one. So you're saying Steve Austin's not a bigger star than Roman will ever be in wrestling?
The biggest star wasn't on the main event
of all time.
Biggest star wasn't on the main event
of all time was in the main event of night one.
What kind of match did he have?
An amazing match with Kevin Owens, and was the greatest part of WrestleMania for me watching.
So you think they could have ended WrestleMania off with that, like everybody goes home happy night two? That's the main event.
It was amazing.
So, yeah.
And then he came back.
Kevin Owens.
It was so big. It was so.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Hey, I got a question for you, Kenny.
I was there. It would have been kind of a whimper if that was the main event. Why? Because they came out and had a better segment on night two.
You just said to me just now, you'd never see Roman main event night one unless he was also main eventing night two. Stone Cold was so big he main evented night one, and they had to bring him out for night two.
You're talking about old man.
They had to bring him out for both nights. Did Roman main event? Did he wrestle 2 nights at WrestleMania last year? No. Stone Cold did at 50 something.
You are comparing Roman Reigns
to Steve Austin,
Stone Cold,
the greatest wrestler of all time.
2021, 2022. It's crazy. That's crazy.
You don't think they're going to be paying Roman big bucks to come back at 50 in 20 years?
It's like Stone Cold returning in a special episode of Star Wars, like the Christmas episode or whatever. It's cool. It's great to see. It ain't the main thing. It ain't the continuation of the movie. No.
The Rock is the main thing this year that's happening.
But listen, the exact same thing. The Rock that's happening this year. But who is he in there with?
Roman
Reigns.
Because that's the pencil.
What does that supposed
Roman
to mean?
is the common denominator. That's their guy. Roman is going to be in the main event. Loaded. Before we get too far in here, who do you think? I forgot the question. Who wins the Royal Rumble?
Hard-headed, bro.
CM Punk wins the Rumble. Yeah.
Would
it be dumb for him to choose Seth when a lesser known title on Raw? Yeah, he should go for Roman. Yeah, for sure. But what if Seth pisses him off, pushes him, and CM Punk, like he said on Raw, like becomes Satan himself, and so he chooses him. He could say something to piss him off or beat him up backstage or whatever, and then he chooses Seth. Or
that was another line too, stealing the devil line.
Yeah.
Or he could CM Punk lose a Rumble and win the Chamber and have Cody win the Rumble. I don't know. And maybe Cody.
Gotta make it make sense.
Is the Chamber going to be for anything this year? As far as I don't think so. I think the Chamber will be for the Intercontinental title.
No, I don't think so.
If you're having Cody win the Rumble, then he's obviously facing Roman. And then what? The CM Punk going to be an elimination chamber to face Seth Rollins? I don't think so. And then if you have The Rock at WrestleMania against Roman Reigns, again, the elimination chamber is going to be for nothing. It's going to be for the Intercontinental title because the winner of the Rumble is going for Seth.
All right, let's get Clint's take on it. Clint, who wins the Royal Rumble?
I'm going to throw you a bit of a curveball here because you're all assuming that Seth is going to win against Jinder, right?
Boom.
So I say CM Punk causes Seth to lose. Seth enters the Rumble, but he beats the crap out of CM Punk before the Rumble. So the CM Punk isn't in the Rumble until later on in the night. He tries to throw out Seth. Seth throws out CM Punk. Seth goes to WrestleMania and faces Roman. Cody wins the Elimination Chamber match to face Roman to add himself to that match. And then CM Punk faces whoever is having the other title. Damian Priest, Jinder, because nobody cares about that title. Let's face it. All the big guys want to go for Roman's title.
So the main event of night one is Jinder Mahal against CM Punk. I love it. Book it now.
Yeah, why not? Or Damian Priest, because he's going to cash in. Right?
You know what?
I just tried to throw a curveball because you guys are all saying the same thing. So.
I mean, I like Seth Rollins versus Roman, but
on
where's
that
The
note,
Rock?
You know what happens?
On that note, we're going to see Hook main event all in this year, boys. Get ready.
No, you know what happens here? They're going to just go ahead and do it all up. Jinder beat Seth Rollins, right? We already saw the beef between Jinder and The Rock. So The Rock comes back and takes the belt from Jinder Mahal. And then he goes to WrestleMania. You got The Rock versus Roman Reigns, both titles on the line. Smash them together and get rid of the one that doesn't
that'd
matter.
be the worst.
That'd be the worst. But my prediction, I didn't give y'all my
prediction.
prediction. I think The Rock's going to win the Rumble. I'm jumping all the way out the window. It's going to be CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre as the last two men. And then number 30 is going to come out. The Rock comes out, throws both of them out of the ring. The Rock goes to WrestleMania to finish the story.
Beautiful. Finish Shinsuke's story.
Beautiful nightmare.
But who main events night one if that does happen?
CM Punk. CM Punk is your main event.
CM Punk is your main event night one. CM Punk is your day one main event, buddy.
Yeah. Whoa, CM Punk and Seth Rollins main event night one, and then
CM Punk against anybody.
And then you got
CM. I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be Rollins.
And then you got The Rock and Roman for night two. That means Cody's not even going to be in the main event.
That's what you think.
No, they're not going to do that to Cody, bro.
They're not going to do that to him.
Four-way, triple threat.
They will put him in that triple threat match before anything else, bro.
I'm telling you right now.
Story.
They already hurt the world championship by not making Cody want it to finish the story for one.
Right.
That hurt the world championship
because the feud started with Roman.
No, I mean that's the WWE excuse, but this is a WWE championship. You want to finish the story, it shouldn't matter. You want
all right, let me ask you a question. So Cody takes the title, wins the title. Who is your white hot baby face to take the title off Roman if your plan was hypothetically to take it off him at WrestleMania? Who would
your white hot baby face to take it off of Roman was Cody last year. Now Cody's not even.
He's still hot. He's getting a good reaction from the crowd.
Last year.
CM Punk and The Rock are both hotter baby faces.
Yeah, you're right. CM Punk and The Rock.
I don't care about The Rock. Nobody's gonna give The Rock the title.
I don't care about The Rock.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Oh, Bryan's going crazy in here now.
Nah, bro. I'm being honest. I don't care to see The Rock and Roman Reigns at this stage in Roman Reigns' title reign. I'm sorry. It don't move me at all.
Wow.
It does not.
That's you, the diehard WWE fan.
And Roman
the casual fans all over it.
No, I understand
the casual fan, you're going to watch no matter what. They want my money. They want the casual fans' money.
I will be watching it, but what I'm saying is I'm not dying for it. This should have happened.
They don't care if you're dying for it. You watch every week.
Yes,
they want my money.
But
I'm the guy who doesn't watch WWE today.
But we're talking about the Rock and Roman Reigns match. They should have done this match 2 years ago to really solidify Roman as the head of the
last year in Hollywood.
If they could have, they would have.
Well, Cody Rhodes should have won.
Last year that was the match. Last year that was the match. The Rock admitted it. He said last year that was the match, and The Rock wanted a big story, and WWE they couldn't agree on it, and he was like, "No."
Well, guess what? Now's the time for that big story. He's not sitting at the
2 months to build the story.
Or the
bro,
bar.
Not happening.
He's sitting at the head of the table.
You don't think 2 months is enough to build?
And The Rock is
not the Rock and Roman. I mean, it's gonna happen, but it's gonna feel rushed.
You know, we're all missing.
This is perfect. Something. This is the road to WrestleMania. What do you mean?
What are we missing?
It should have been happening.
We're all forgetting someone. Brock Lesnar.
What the?
How are we forgetting him?
Brock Lesnar could come back and destroy everything we're just saying right now.
No,
Brock Lesnar.
He's Gunther at most. He's Gunther
under Triple H. Under Triple H, I don't see it happening.
He's
You don't
Gunther.
think
He's gonna
Gunther
put
and Brock have-
Gunther
or
gets
Brock
the big win
happening?
against Lesnar. If
Nah.
anything, it's gonna be Gunther
If
beating
Triple H
Lesnar.
buried
I can't
Lesnar.
wait till The Rock
Beating
versus
Lesnar?
Roman is in Australia though. Can't wait. In front of
Who?
70,000 people.
Like
Who?
I said in Brian's
Everybody's
tweet,
going to finish the story except Cody. That's what Homer says. And
It was
that's the truth.
Yeah.
It was Shinsuke's
Jinder's
stories
finishing his
first.
story on Monday.
He
CM
pointed it
Punk's
out
gonna
on
win the
Monday.
Royal
It was
Rumble and finish the
Shinsuke's story first.
No,
Yeah,
no.
type.
In fact, maybe no. Yeah,
Yo,
somebody
bro.
has to cost. Seth Rollins cost
CM Punk. the
CM
Rumble.
Punk at the Rumble, and that leads them two in the story. The Rock wins at WrestleMania. That takes him to fight Roman. And Jinder Mahal,
wins
who's he?
at WrestleMania.
Jinder Mahal and Cody. Jinder
There you
Mahal,
go.
Cody's going to take down the All-American Cody Rhodes is going to take down Jinder Mahal
The hero.
at WrestleMania.
I can't wait for Brian's reaction to that
That's
banger of a
the
match.
B-level.
Let's do it.
7-star classic.
Oh man, bro. Listen, bro.
Seven-star
Y'all
savior.
go ahead.
Cody
Y'all
Rhodes
go
and Jinder
ahead.
Mahal.
Y'all go
Brian, in
ahead.
all seriousness,
Y'all go ahead. Mark
You-
the calendar for the podcast
Brian-
after WrestleMania. It's gonna be the greatest. I'm literally gonna put myself on a single screen and talk that shit to y'all, bro. It's over.
Brian, in all seriousness, we all know that Cody Rhodes is going to be winning his title at WrestleMania. He'll be winning his tag team titles back with Jey Uso. We know it. It's book it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Him
man.
and Jay are gonna get their redemption. Don't worry, Brian.
I feel like if
Opening-
Cody
Alright.
doesn't
opening
win
match.
it at WrestleMania,
Well, we
they're
are
going to do some
past-
sort of injury angle or something. So, I'm not
Oh,
gonna
man.
say. They're going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
We are past that 1 hour, 30-minute sweet spot. Does anybody else have anything they want to add before we jump up out of here?
50 likes, WWE 2K24. That's all I'm adding.
I feel we ain't getting there, my boy. But
We're not going to get there, but you know what? We got next week as well, so it's all
Exactly.
good.
Well, Punk winning the Rumble is the only way to go. So there you go. Have him face Seth.
That's what I was gonna ask.
And we're gonna say, go ahead.
No other contender. We got Punk, Cody, Rock for Rumble. Anybody else winning? No.
Drew
I don't know.
McIntyre?
I got either
Nobody?
Punk or The Rock.
Kind of unpredictable. I don't know who's gonna win.
I think Punk
That's-
will win.
that's-
I'm saying Punk,
Okay.
but like, who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, it should be, but
they
we'll
usually
see.
have
So
the
where do
big
we go with
returns.
Cody
win the
Rhodes
Rumble.
at WrestMania, though? Because he's not finishing the story. I just don't know.
Triple
Grayson
threat.
Waller's going to win it. Dirty
Oh,
Dom
yeah.
is going to win it.
Oh,
Thing is,
You
like,
don't-
Punk,
Randy Orton.
You don't
Just-
think Cody's going to get those tag team titles?
JD
back? I
McDonough's
think that's
gonna
a
win it.
genuine. I think that's a
JD
genuine
McDonough.
opportunity. What happened? Remember when Sami Zayn was so hot last year, going into that elimination chamber in Montreal? The whole world was behind him. The whole story was behind him. They're like, screw Cody's story. This is Sami Zayn's moment. He's going to do it.
Yeah, right.
And then what did Sami Zayn have his big moment at WrestleMania? He won the tag team titles with Kevin Owens. Same thing's happening to Cody this year. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, all right, man.
Sorry to say. It's
I
gonna-
cannot wait, bro. I really can't, man.
I can't wait either. The Royal Rumble is just a few weeks away, and we will find
Oh,
out
yeah.
if The Rock is going to finish the story or not. Will The Rock end up at the head of the table? We'll end up and see night 2 of WrestleMania in the main event. Thank y'all for tuning in to Off the Top this week, WGC podcast. If you're in the wrestling game community and you make content out there, even if you're not saying anything in the chat and you see this video and you want to come on and chop it up with the gang, hit us up. We are always open to sit down with other guests. Kero, take us out.
All right. Appreciate each and every single one of you watching today. Next week, we're back. So be on the lookout. That being said, we're out of here.
Let's
Oh
get it,
yeah,
man.
make sure you stay tuned into the channel because I buried Kero alive. Let's get to that.
Yes, sir.